Aries, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we're actually doing the look ahead at August, starting those readings off. I will be doing some more in-depth love August readings in the coming week. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep an eye out for those. Today we are going to be looking at, just a bit of a general what's going on in August, as well as any challenges you are facing, how to overcome those, and then, all the good stuff as well. Okay, I am primarily using the Kawaii Lenormand today, but I do also have the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. All right, so getting sort of straight on into it for you, Aries. Aries, what is going on for Aries in August 2025? Start, middle, and end of August for our Aries, please. Month of change. Straight away, a month of things coming in quickly. We're starting the month off with the Rider here, so some sort of good news on the way, some actions being taken. For some of you, this talks about vehicles. I'm picking up vehicles off that for some of you there as well. I will clarify that, but it's like things happening very quickly. It is a very quick sort of energy, so you may be having sort of lots of things sort of happening in a bit of a flurry at the start of August. Clarify that Rider for the start of August for our Aries. Yeah, so that is equal to the Chariot in Tarot there. So we do have that clarified by the Tower. So, this is the things, news about the foundation of your life, news about isolation in some sort of sense. But it's good news. It's positive energy, and it's things sort of moving very quickly. So we may see changes to isolation energy. So if you have been sort of very shut up at home and not sort of getting out and talking to anyone, that may be changing. You may be having like people coming into your home and visiting and that sort of thing. You may have, it's foundations. I do want to say foundations being rocked a little bit here, and traditional values being changed a little bit here. So things that you thought were one way seem to be getting news that it's okay to sort of break that tradition, and you don't need to be quite so regimented. Extra clarity for that energy, please. Yeah, we have the book for the extra clarity, so it's kind of just telling me that there's a lot of things that are changing, and it's learning more, and there's still more to know about these situations. It's kind of like things happening so quickly, and kind of that compounded interest thing. So it's I hate to be so vague, Aries, but it is kind of like saying here that it's just sort of rushing into the unknown elements here, and knowing that those foundations may be changing, but it's a compounding interest of change as well, that you may get news about one thing changing, and then that enables other changes to take place as well. The book shows us that there's more to be learnt, that you still haven't learnt what you need to learn about the situation in order to understand what these changes might actually be. So for some of you, it may be to do with education as well, considering the high level of learning there, especially with the Tower, because the Tower quite often can talk about, governmental places like libraries, schools, those sorts of things. So there might be some sort of, news about, yes, you were accepted into this school, hurry up, you've got to go and do this and do that in order for that to take place, and things like that. So for some of you, it's got to do with some sort of education, further training, those sorts of things, coming into play here. And it does feel very sort of not rushed in a bad way, but just very, very quick, very fast paced. At the start of August here, followed up through the month here, we do see the Scythe coming through there as well. So the Scythe is change in itself. It's breaking free from the things that aren't serving you anymore. So, if not knowing is not serving you, we're needing to learn and things like that. If we don't have the skills, we're needing to learn those skills. So we are making some pretty fast paced changes. Both the rider and the scythe are very, very fast energies. So we do have that at the end of August, we have the masculine coming through here as well. So we do see another nod here with this masculine card to vehicles as well. So for some of you, there is definitely a vehicle connection to this message as well. So you may be sort of changing vehicles for some of you. You may be sort of, especially too when there's this learned aspect. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm learning that my vehicle is if for example, if you ride a motorbike, my vehicle is not going to be enough, to fit my family, and I need to be able to drive my family around. So I'm going to sort of trade that vehicle in for a bigger vehicle, an actual car. So for some of you, that might be something coming into play there as well, changing the whatever's been sort of built already is what's changing, whether that's got to do with isolation energies, whether that's got to do with more rigid governmental traditional type energies, that remains to be seen. Like I said, there is still some stuff that is unknown about this for you. We do see the masculine very logical, rational, thinking with your brain, doing things in reality space rather than energy space, rather than a feelings space. So it's very much doing what's right, doing what's logical. So, that motorbike is not logical to drive around a young baby. So what's logical is to get a car that you can carry that baby around in, or whatever that is, just using that as an example there. Because I'm not picking up any baby energy, okay? So I just want to put that out there. But looking at your challenges for the month of August, what are the challenges Aries will be facing in August, please? The challenges facing Aries in August. We see the mountain coming through first here, Aries. So there may be a Capricorn that is, presenting a little bit of a challenge to you this month. Just in general, that is the Capricorn card. I also do have the Leo card here as well. So we may see, strong Leo or Capricorn placements with somebody here as a bit of a challenge in your life. But more so than anything, I do feel like for a lot of you, this is not necessarily to do with interpersonal relationships, this reading. It does feel like a little bit more, the reality, the mundaneness, the day-to-day stuff, whether that be, work or whatever, just dealing with the day-to-day kind of stuff in your life here. The challenge here is work. Okay, work. Not necessarily work as in your job, but work as in having to put in work, having to, keep on keeping on, having to be very determined and perseverant. So, having to deal with a bit of monotony and having to just sort of keep going and, keep plugging away at all these things in your life here that keep on, just taking one step and one step and one step and, just trying your hardest to overcome obstacles and delays. Delays do seem significant for you. That may be very frustrating throughout August as well. Some delays that need to have a bit of patience. That is very patient, perseverant energy. But we do also see the sun, which is very interesting because that is the card of happiness. So for some of you, what we're kind of seeing here is that it's going to take a little bit of work to stay happy, to stay positive this month, and it's something that you're needing to be very perseverant with during August, that you're just sort of keep on taking one step at a time. Each day, wake up, I choose to be happy, and tomorrow I'm going to wake up feeling a bit iffy again, and then I'm going to have to choose to be happy and try to see the light in life again. So there may just be a little bit of some darker days throughout the month, just within your own self. It doesn't necessarily feel like anything hugely negative is going on for you this month, to be honest. Especially, seeing happiness as a challenge. Normally we would not associate happiness as a challenge, but the other aspect of the sun that is probably the highlight of this challenge is that this can be personal epiphanies. This can be, things coming to light, things that haven't yet been revealed. So like I spoke about initially there with that book energy of like, there's a bit of a, entering into the unknown, needing to learn more about situations before we really can actually sort of, start seeing, where that's going. So there is still some unknown elements that are yet to come to light. And so when those things come to light, they may present, further challenges as the month progresses here. So it's just things that you don't know about yet. So the things that are unknown to you, that it's kind of too a little bit of that fear of the unknown. Like, I don't know what tomorrow brings, so that's a little bit of a challenge in of itself. All right, but we'll have a look at how to overcome those challenges for you. Aries, how does Aries overcome challenges in August? Overcoming challenges throughout August, please. Advice to overcome. Firstly, we have the ship here. So just keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. Just keep moving forward, Aries. Just keep slogging away, even if you're only able to take that one small little step at a time. Each step is a step forward, okay? So just keep moving forward. Even if you fall back down that mountain a little bit, keep on moving forward. Pick yourself back up, keep on going forwards once again. Try to see life as a bit of a, this is just where the adventure is taking me. You may want to overcome some of these challenges by distancing yourself in some kind of a way. It's kind of like just giving me like that, more so like just a weekend away kind of energy, where you may just sort of feel the need throughout the month to just take some time away and go away for a day trip or a weekend away, that kind of thing, actual travel kind of energy there. Or start thinking about future travel plans and that sort of a thing. We also see the moon. So definitely just trusting your intuition this month, making sure that you are trusting your feelings and listening to your feelings, because that's actually how you're overcoming these challenges, is by, really actually getting in touch with your feelings and the things that make you sensitive. So if something is triggering you in a negative kind of a way, that means something, because it's touching your feelings. So those feelings have actually got a bit to answer for this month, and can actually help you overcome some of those negative energies, especially with you being in such a, logical, rational, masculine mindset at the end of the month, especially here. The feminine feelings kind of stuff actually helps you overcome that and balance that out a little bit here, Aries. So definitely, trust your feelings and your intuition this month as well. All right, but looking at the good stuff. What's the good stuff for Aries in August? What's the good stuff coming in for Aries in August? Following your own good advice. I know these cards are a little hard to see with the holographic effect there, but that does say trust yourself. You know what is best for you. So, if it's kind of that energy of like if putting the situation in somebody else's mindset. So rather than being hard on yourself all the time here, Aries, you're finding these ways to flip the script a little bit. Pardon me. And to, give advice to yourself the same way that you would tell other people what to do in that situation. So rather than telling yourself, because when we talk to ourselves just flat, we tend to be a little bit more negative and look down on ourselves and treat ourselves a little bit more harshly than the advice that we would give our friends in the same situation. So try to talk to yourself a little bit more like a friend, and follow your own advice. If that's something that you would tell someone to do, why are you not telling yourself the same thing? So I feel like that's coming through as the good stuff, because you've got good advice this month, Aries. So listen to it. All right. We also see growing up. Scary, I know, Aries, with your sort of playful, passionate nature. That is a little bit scary, but yes, it's a positive thing. You're realizing that you're maturing and you're having these personal epiphanies that making you aware that, wow, look, I have actually grown a lot more than I realized. The keywords on that card, it sort of says, wanting to grow in experience, rejection of perpetual youth. So you're rejecting this idea of being immature, basically, that you're rejecting. That may have worked for me 10 years ago, but you know, I'm more mature than that now. That's not the same person I am anymore. So I'm actually proud of myself for being able to deal with things in more mature ways and different ways than what I may have when I was young. So sort of kudos to you there, Aries. Realizing you're growing up and you're healing a little bit and able to look at things from a more mature aspect. What's the good stuff for Aries in August? The good stuff for our Aries in August. We see the flowers. Okay, so this is giving what you get. This is giving more of yourself to yourself. This is receiving more from others, giving and receiving. So, and some of you, there may be actual gifts associated with that. Somebody may be giving you something, or for some of you, I feel like you are actually giving something, and that's where this positive energy is creating a lot of good energy for you. Is because you're giving more of yourself to others, time, love, energy, actual gifts. We see the stork there as well, which is your card here, Aries. So that sort of shifts things into a higher gear, kind of coming up with new ideas, new perspectives on how to deal with things in your life. And I feel like that's why I'm picking that up there, that it's like, you know, because I'm getting this, what's the phrase? It's, you know, like if you do the same thing 10 times in a row and expect different results, why don't you, you know, come up with a new perspective, a new way of trying, and then you might get the different result. You know, so it's kind of, you're stirring yourself up a little bit to start, you know, giving a little bit more in ways that you haven't tried before, kind of thing, that or you wouldn't normally do. So if you're wanting those positive results and you're wanting to receive back, you're actually giving rather than just trying to wait for someone to give to you first. You're going, well, you know, I've not tried doing it myself first. If I want to receive from that, I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna give to that. I'm just picking up that, you know, for some of you, you're the one giving here, because it's you're giving because you haven't received. You've maybe been, I'm picking up this weird message, like some of you have been waiting to receive, but you're wondering why you're not receiving. And then you kind of go, well, do you know what, I'm going to stir up this new perspective and this new idea, and I'm going to try this new idea, and I'm just going to give and see what happens. And that's when things start happening good for you, Aries. It starts stirring up that energy and getting things moving in the direction that you want, especially when it comes to relationships here. All right, we see the ring there as well, Aries. So especially when it comes to relationships, for some of you, and for some of you, I'm like, once again, I'm getting you giving somebody a ring, like an actual ring as well. Some of you may be wanting to propose this month, because I'm getting that, you know, like in the example that you're a female Aries and you've been sort of sitting back waiting for your partner to propose to you, and it's just not happening. It's just not happening. So you kind of turning around going, well, you know, maybe that's why we're seeing that shift in tradition all the way back at the start there. You know, I was talking about, you know, changes to tradition happening there. You're kind of turning around and going, well, you know what, I'm going to propose. Here's the ring I bought for my man. You know, so I'm picking up that kind of thing as well. Could be a few other things as well here. It does seem to be mostly to do with relationships. I'm not really picking up any of the other interpretations off that card for that particular section there. I am picking up other messages for you already, Aries, but I do have other readings coming up for August. You know, so definitely keep an eye out for those. But I am just feeling very drawn to get you an answer. Okay, so I don't know what this is about, but some of you need an answer right now, and you can't wait until the video when I'm doing this book. This is the little book of answers. All right, so and I was planning on using this in one of the all signs over the weekend. So for some of you, you just cannot wait, or it's a more pressing. It's not even an issue. It's just a more pressing thing that you're wanting an answer to than what is going to come through in that particular video. So Aries, what's the answer for Aries? What's the answer? Reprioritizing what is actually important, and doubt it. So I'm picking up that that's doubt. It's got something to do with this. It does have something to do with this good stuff. That you're reprioritizing what's actually important to you. Is it important to you to just sit back and wait? Why is that important? Um, you know, there's a reason for you to doubt that it's going to actually you're going to receive. So you start like if you start I hope that answered what was pressing you there, Aries, one way or another. But that's what we have for you today. You are more than welcome to check your other placements. Like I said, quite a few readings coming up that you want to keep an eye out for as well. And I will see you all again soon.